And good morning to you, St. Lucia. Thank you so much for tuning in live. We're coming to you from the studios of the National Television Network, Government Information Service. I am Lisa Joseph on this Monday. It is March 7. We're not quite there yet, so we're getting just a little bit, just a little 24 or so more hours to go so that we can have this full celebration across St. Lucia and across the world as we celebrate the contribution of women. And this celebration is even made more important considering all the strides that women were able to make during COVID-19. In fact, women were at the front lines for COVID-19, and the world is beginning to recognize an overall tapering off of the pandemic. Let me say good morning to Humma DeMark, as always, quite beautiful on the other side.
Good morning to you, Lisa, and good morning to you viewers as well. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hopefully you had a safe, restful weekend and you're energized for the weekend. You know that you will always join us right here on the National Television Network, channel 122, as well as our Facebook and YouTube channels as well.
So I was talking about the pandemic sort of tapering off the world over, and women, of course, being at the front lines. But speaking of that, how did you enjoy your confinement-free weekend, considering that confinement has been lifted?
I don't think I took advantage of it at all. Sometimes you get used to something, so staying inside really was what my weekend was. But it was restful. I took advantage of that aspect.
Yeah, and I think you're right, because I ventured out just a little bit around, say, the 9 to 10 o'clock hour, just to see what it would have been like up on the Crozele Highway, and just went in and out, and the usual, what should be the hot spots. And I realized that it really wasn't very hot. So I think you're right. The people have just gotten accustomed to getting everything done within that specific period of time,
right,
and then moving on into home and following what those protocols are. So we will see how much further it's going to be like this. But I know that certainly St. Lucians were indeed very receptive of the idea of the confinement hours being lifted as a result of us just realizing in the flattening of the curve. We'll get to talk about that a little later on. To the substantive program today, Homer. And for us being in this pandemic, we could not have done it alone. And, all of St. Lucia came together, those of us in the diaspora, meaning St. Lucians in the diaspora, lent a hand as well. We also have our very dear and trusted allies, diplomatic allies coming in. And one of those who've just been alongside us in the whole development thrust and plan for St. Lucia is the Republic of China, Taiwan. And I'm saying that, and I can hear people say, absolutely, absolutely. There's no doubt about that Taiwan has been with us every step of the way. And Taiwan, they've done a lot. And it's not just in one aspect of St. Lucia's development, but they're touching across all sectors of our development. And today we are very pleased to have with us the Ambassador of the Republic of China, Taiwan to St. Lucia. He is His Excellency Peter Chen, as well as Project Manager within the Embassy, Ms. Sophia Zhan. And they will be talking to us about the Youth and Women Empowerment Program that has been launched. In fact, the official launch happened on the 28th of February. And so we are very pleased to have the Ambassador and Ms. Zhan with us to discuss the full gamut of this program. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Emma.
Good morning.
So, Ambassador, the Embassy, you commence training programs under this program, and it is designed to benefit St. Lucian women and youth as a whole. Can you tell us what these programs are, and can you give us a little background on what the programs are?
Yes, to cope with the devastating impact of COVID-19 pandemic, the government of Taiwan and St. Lucia come up with this youth economy and women entrepreneurship project. The main purpose is to tackle the economy situation, try to boost economy amid or post the pandemic, and also maintain the social stability. And within this project, we have 3 parts. The first part will be upskilling training. The second part will be startup training. And the third part will be MSME consulting. And this project is fully sponsored by Taiwan through our agency, ICDF. And we work with a couple different sectors to come up with this project.
Right. And for the project, so the rationale, Jean, of Ms. Jean, for the project, explain to us why did the Taiwan government find it so necessary to partner with St. Lucia in such a project?
During our conversation with the local people and the government of St. Lucia, we found that during the pandemic era, there's some people is very confused. For example, some youth, they are feeling still have the very big challenge to the unemployment. So they are very confused in what job or their career they want to enter in. Or some people, they are really talented, but they don't know how to transit their habits to the profit business. Or also there are some groups of people that is the owner of a small business. They either want to expand their business or want to improve their operation. So I think they know all of them, they need the skill enhancement. So that Ambassador mentioned in this project, we have 3 components that we will provide a different training, a series of activity for those 3 types of people that get what the skill they need. So that, as you said, the program already start. We start from the vocational training first, and right now we are doing the business incubator. So that we hope we can deliver more knowledge in the management to those young people and the women.
And you mentioned that it's always very difficult for young people to decide where their path will be, and they need to be exposed to many experiences in order for them to understand where their path will be. How do you see this as being something of benefit to St. Lucia, especially with the youth economy? How do the 2 marry themselves, St. Lucia's Youth Economy Initiative?
Because I think the youth economy is main key point is the human resource you have in St. Lucia. So I think that if they already identify what they want, because, for example, if they participate in our early childhood development, probably in the future, after 3 months training, they can get the basic idea how to go to work in the hospital or clinics, so they can help their community. Or like in the health aid, they also can do that, so that we encourage the people to learn some skill from themselves, so they can empower themselves and also the family they love.
I think to invest in our next generation is the key to ensure sustainable development of the country. So I think it's absolutely right for Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre to prioritize youth economy. And so that's why we also come up with this project, try to work alongside with the government of St. Lucia to help youth, as Prime Minister say, to turn hobbies into entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship and skills into business. And as Ms. Sophia Chen just mentioned, we also work with South Louis Community College to come up with several different types of training and trying to help youth to get the knowledge, get the know-how, how to become profitable with their skills, with their hobbies.
Nice, and just based on what you're saying, we're starting with youth and women, but we can see this project benefiting St. Lucians, the needs of St. Lucians on a whole as well.
Yes.
Nice. How many people are expected to benefit from these training programs?
The program is targeted in 750 people, but in those 3 different trainings. For example, we already select the 360 for the vocational training for those 4 specialization areas, which include the health aid, early childhood development, hospitality, and digital and creative entrepreneurship.
Ah, nice. And how does one, so say I'm interested in the program, how does one qualify for the program?
Okay, so I think because the whole training program is not is only. I think our target is to hands-on projects. So that means we don't have a very high requirement of the literacy of the numeracy. But however, they need the basic skill on that. Also, because of COVID-19 pandemic, we cannot have the long time face-to-face lectures. So they need access to internet, and also if they have homework, for example, for the digital and creative entrepreneurship, they need a laptop. I think that's a basic. But also, if they want to go to the incubator, they should have some experience in the field too. So that is a different criteria for different programs.
Understood. And earlier Lisa mentioned the importance of partnership in development. Can you highlight for us the other agencies that are partnering to make this a reality?
I think including Taiwan Embassy and also Taiwan Technical Mission, we team up with Ministry of Youth Economy, Ministry of Commerce, and also St. Louis Community College.
Very nice.
And I think in the future, all the related ministry or agency will more than happy to see they are involved in this project, because I think this will benefit not only the attendees and also their family. As Herman just mentioned, how many people actually benefit from this project? Although the attendee will be 700 something, but we actually helping many companies, and also we help those young kids to start their company. So you can imagine, I think it's multiply the beneficiary.
Sure. Lisa?
And with the new skills and experience that the participants are expected to learn, how will they become certified?
Because we, in the St. Louis Community College, they already have experience to deliver online training, so they have a platform. They will put all the material, training material online. So they, even the students cannot participate in the live section, but they can read the video that they taken in the course. So they will have a record, say how many hours they already participate in the class, and how many minutes of video they already read. So they will give their credit. So if they complete the whole 3 months training, they will give the micro-credential the certificate. That's to provide them either they can get a job, or they can pursue their further education. So I think that is a very wonderful opportunity for us to work with St. Louis Community College. So because they already have so great experience with the youth here.
What has been the feedback from the students so far in the program?
I think the feedback is good, and we heard some good stories as well. Yeah.
And we have some of that, Herman. We want to go to some of the participants, just voicing how their appreciation for the program and letting us know how much they've benefited from it.
I do a lot of online teaching, and I wanted to enhance my skills, especially in delivering good presentations to my students. This is a great course, and I want to thank the government of Taiwan for giving, especially women, an opportunity to be more marketable. I thank you.
Having recently assumed ownership of a preschool, I took this early childhood course to get concrete knowledge in this area. My expectation is that I will become certified in the area of early childhood development.
I recently completed my master's in public health and wanted to further develop my skills in terms of taking care of others. This program shows that you're never too old to dream and to achieve your dreams. I am really grateful for this opportunity. Thank you.
I am Ingrid Lucien and is pursuing an early childhood development course. Being in the early childhood field has always been my dream. I love working with children. By taking this course, I'm expecting to learn more about how to deal with children of various age groups and backgrounds and make a difference in young lives. Thank you.
And we're hearing there live from those who are benefiting, participating in the program. And one thing I find about this program, it really opens it up to everyone and anyone, because sometimes you know a large number of young people, perhaps those who've not finished secondary school, those who perhaps are in the workforce and they have not attained tertiary education, but they are interested in a field, perhaps doing a switching career. So they could probably keep a little job, have and do the course, or for those who are unemployed, do the course, find themselves some employment. But most importantly, getting the certification is always important. So it's a great gateway for individuals who have not really done the full gamut of formal education. So this is very good.
So true, Lisa. You know, too often you speak to people who may not have taken school very seriously in the beginning, and then they realize how important it is to gain knowledge in a certain field. And so being given that opportunity, I'm sure, like we've heard, they must be very appreciative of that. You know, a part of the program is also the incubator aspect. Can you explain to us a little bit how that works?
I think a lot of people or a lot of youth, they have talent and they have idea, and we just try to help them and give them opportunity. So within this incubator training, we will provide introduction of entrepreneurship process, and also business development, product development, and all different kinds of training.
Nice. So it's they get the training aspect, but there's also the hand-holding in the business aspect as well.
Yes. So after the training, we will have some other consulting.
Yes. I would say in this incubator programs, I think that there's a very key point is we will help the participant to do the prototyping. That means if they have an idea but they don't know how, we would like to say we are hands-on, work with them to work with what the products they can have, and also after the 3 months training. And if they are interested in to establish a company, we will give them another consultation, like a monitor, how to. There's a group of consultants will to provide them a service, no matter is how to arrange their financial better or to improve their products, meet what the market needs. I think that's a whole incubator. It's not only 3 months training, it's a 6 months, 3 plus 3 months opportunity for the young people and the women.
Nice to ensure that they get it right, Lisa.
And indeed, and as we were saying, that they relieve counseling for micro, small, and medium enterprises. Now, there's an application period for that, and it began February 28th, and it ends March 30th, 2022, where you can benefit from that. So as you heard, 90 of the MSMEs will be selected and granted a relief funding as well as fully funded consultant service. And that really is to optimize the viable business model and new product prototype development. if that is necessary. But it is critical, Ambassador, for, as you say, the young entrepreneurs, they have ideas, but they need the guidance to be able to really take it into fruition. But funding is also important, and this really does help with that.
Yeah, and we will select part of them, the feasible proposal, and as Sophia just mentioned, besides consulting and besides help them to come up with a feasible business plan, and we will also provide them an angel fund. Although the amount probably not as much as they expect, but at least for them to start. And after that, we will also have some credit support.
Yes, I think the important is we not only provide the training, also the opportunity. For example, we will have a job fair, or in the prototyping area, we will work with the private sector. That's the channel the youth can explore the really entrepreneurs and then learn from them. So I think the benefit of the money in the money term is not very big, but the experience for them is very, very, very good.
Great. And if Roger can just give us just a reminder on screen so that we can see how the program works. Now, since 2007, Ambassador, Taiwan has been assisting St. Lucia, as I indicated very earlier on, in so many areas. We have education, we have agriculture, even on the community level with the community development program. Can we as St. Lucia expect the assistance to continue in the coming years?
I think Taiwan and St. Lucia enjoy cultural diplomatic relationship, and we always work together to implement a good project that benefit our two peoples. So I think, as Lisa just mentioned, now we have education, we have ICT program, we have agriculture program, now we have the youth entrepreneurship and women empowerment project, and I expect we have more projects coming in terms of health, in terms of climate change, or other that related to or benefit to the people, to the community.
You know, just listening to you speak about this, Ambassador, it just sounds like a great opportunity, not only for the youth, but the women to be a part of it as well. In terms of encouraging people to be a part of the program, because it's not too late to apply and to be a part of the process.
Yes. I think as my President Tsai Ing-wen mentioned, if most women can pursue their aspiration, the country will become more prosperous. So that's why we not only focus on youth, we also focus on women. And I really encourage all people online, all people that know this information, to grab this opportunity to come to join this program.
If you want to learn more about this training program, you can go to our project, Jenny's website, that is in the upscaling.salcc.edu.lc. That's the website we developed together with St. Louis.
Very nice. Right, and as you, there's an allusion there to women, and of course for the country of Taiwan, woman is at the very top. The president, Tsai Ing-wen, yes, it's right, so the president of Taiwan. And so celebrating International Women's Day is very important for Taiwan as a nation. And Taiwan is this year launching the Taiwan Gender Equality Week with the Foundation of Women's Rights Promotion and Development on International Women's Day, which is Tuesday, March 8th. Now, the program will overlap with the 2-week session of the UN Commission on the Status of Women. For short, it is called CSW. And this year, that session is focusing on achieving gender equality within the context of climate change. So very important. And the 2022 program includes an online Climate Justice Leaders Forum. Various parallel meetings at the forum will be held as well. And there's also a Women's Power Night reception on International Women's Day, and that is going to kick everything off. The Women's Power Night reception will be held at 6 p.m. on March 8 at the Taipei Guest House, and President Tsai Ing-wen will make a speech to the forum. And of course, we are looking forward to hearing more about that once the March 8th turns around. Now, the Climate Leaders, Justice Leaders Forum, that takes place online at 8:30 p.m. That is the Taiwan time on March 15. There will be a live stream seminar that's going to be held at the Taiwan Embassy right here in St. Lucia. And the webinar includes a forum with political leaders, keynote speakers, as well as a dialogue with NGO leaders. Also, the NGO SW Forum is an important international meeting for civil society groups. And so it's important that even though we are not at the forum at the United Nations, it's important for us to follow these events very closely, because these things dictate our lives. Now, to get involved and help promote gender equality, you can follow the FWRPD Twitter account, that's at Women's Rights TW, and you can use the hashtags, hashtag Taiwan for Her and hashtag Taiwan for Climate Justice. You can also like and share a short video of Power of Women in Taiwan, and that's on the Taiwan-Saint Lucia Facebook page. And we go to that video right now so that you can know what it's all about. You can like it so that you can like it on the Facebook page.
Climate change does not affect everyone equally. Among people displaced by climate change, 80% are women. We rise. We fight. We are not just victims. We are change makers. We choose green energy. We restore the environment. We make lifestyle changes. Recycle. We get together for a better future.
The heart of the Paris Agreement is still beating.
We can start change right now.
We want to change the world, and we can.
So we can leave a better world for our future generations.
Power of women. Taiwan in the world for a better tomorrow.
And really, that's just a snippet of the women's contribution in Taiwan. Look at what they're able to do there for climate change. But I dare say the world over, women, as I indicated at the top of the program, we have been so steadfast at the front lines. And this, we want you to be able to participate, as I indicated. You know that the forum is being held at the United Nations, as the UN Commission on the Status of Women. This video, you can go onto the Facebook page, Taiwan-Saint Lucia Facebook page, and like the video. It's not going to take you long, but by participating also means that you are allowing your voice to be heard. And so, Ambassador, as I said, for Taiwan, International Women's Day must be so special over there, considering as we saw President Tsai in the video. For the country, what does it mean to have a woman leader?
We take pride to have elected President Tsai Ing-wen as our president, and I think a lot of people consider it as inspired and encouraged. So we see a direct impact of female participation in the public sector decision-making process. And now the seats of our parliament held by women reach about 40%. And that contribute also benefit how Taiwan tackling the gender-based violence or discrimination or all kinds of gender equality issue. And not only in the public sector, we also see an increase of empowerment in the private sector. We see the small and medium business held by women actually reach more than 36%. That's a 10% increase within a decade. So for all of that collective power, I think it will give more momentum for Taiwan to tackle all the gender issue. And so that's why I think we reach a very good level in gender equality level. So that's why we are more than happy to share our experience. And this year we have, as Lisa just mentioned, we have a whole week events and seminar that in observance of the International Women's Day.
And as a result of President Tsai's leadership, how do you see Taiwan within the region? Is Taiwan attaining greater social success, economic success? And does Taiwan stand as an example of a nation, what a nation can achieve from a woman leader?
Yeah, I think as I just mentioned, because of we have a female leader, so that become a big encouragement to all the people, and with that momentum, with that synergy, I think the social stability and also the contribution of all the sectors will become enormous influence.
And so we are happy that Taiwan is continuing to lead the way, as they say, and being a very steadfast ally for St. Lucia. And of course, we wish President Tsai and all of the women of Taiwan a happy International Women's Day, and the men as well, Ambassador, correct?
Yes.
Because without the men, certainly the women wouldn't be as strong as they are. Is that correct?
Because we are promoting gender equality, so that's equal to women and men.
Okay. Don't worry, Ambassador, there's no fight.
Yeah. And I'm the minority in the room.
I always love Ambassador. His sense of humor is always there. He's always getting it home.
He's never getting himself in trouble too.
Never. I'm telling you, he's quite the diplomat. Quite the diplomat. But we want to thank you so much for being able to bring on this new program to St. Lucia, the Youth and Women's Employment Entrepreneurship Program. Certainly it holds within it to be able to open up avenues for our women and our youth that perhaps we would not have been able to do on our own. So any final words from both of you as we say goodbye?
Again, I encourage more solutions to take this great opportunity to attend the programs.
Yes, I think the mass of power of youth and the women is very critical to the local community. I appreciate so many people like to join our program, and we hope they can enjoy and really empower their workforce and the life in the future.
All right. So let me just go through the activities again, as Taiwan is going to celebrate International Women's Day with an entire week of activities. So on the 8th, there's the Women's Power Night reception. On the 15th of March, there's a Climate Justice Leaders Forum, and there's a live stream seminar being held in the Taiwan Embassy on the 15th of March. So anyone can click on your Facebook page and they'll be able to participate in that.
Yes.
Correct? Okay, great. And of course, follow the Commission on the Status of Women. St. Lucia will also be participating in that forum, just to say that our Honorable Minister, Dr. Virginia Alba-Poyot, will also be participating in that. So we want to thank you so much for staying with us throughout this program. Homa, any COVID updates?
Yes, for sure. Just before we leave, the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs always keeps us up to date with our situation in St. Lucia. And yesterday, Sunday, the 6th of March, the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs confirmed a total of 9 new COVID-19 cases. Samples were processed on Saturday, the 5th of March, from a total of 147 samples, of which 96 samples were processed at the Ezra Long Laboratory and 51 samples were processed at Laboratory Services and Consultations Limited. These samples were collected from the 3rd of March 2022 to March 5th, 2022, and this number of positive cases makes up 6.12% of all the samples processed on that date. Confirmation was also received of the recovery of 33 individuals diagnosed with COVID-19, bringing the total number of active cases in country to 82. So we're still below that 100 mark, which augurs well for us. Currently, there are 3 positive cases of COVID-19 admitted at the respiratory hospital, and 2 of them, unfortunately, are critically ill. Vaccination, of course, continues today at the various wellness centers. And if you are looking to be vaccinated, what you would want to do is call the wellness center nearest to you and find out when is best for you to get vaccinated. With that, as we celebrate Women's Month and we get set to celebrate with the rest of the world International Women's Day, the National Television Network, we will be keeping you informed, keeping you abreast of all what's happening right here in St. Lucia for the celebration.
And let's just go over some of the final points of our discussion with Ambassador and Ms. Sophia Jan under the Youth and Women's Empowerment and Entrepreneurship Program. We want you to be able to be in a position to take full advantage of the opportunities being presented to you. So under the project, we have a vocational skills training for youth and women. It's an upskilling training program. Now, the application period has ended. It was from December 2021 to January 2022. But just to let you know what's in there, it's short-term intensive vocational training courses, which is being provided by the South Lewis Community College. And you can learn early childhood development, health aid, digital and creative entrepreneurship, and hospitality. Now, each class has accepted 30 participants. You have a total of 360 participants who are being trained, and after completion, there's a micro-credential certificate that's being granted by the South Lewis Community College. And at the end of the training, the participants may submit their business proposals seeking customized coaching, mentorship, as well as a grant-based accelerated growth angel funding. And of course, the tuition fee, the consultancy fee, is being financed by the Taiwan ICDF. So it's free to you. Now, the Incubator Startup Entrepreneurial Development Counseling, that's also happening. It's a startup training program. The application period is February 28, 2022, and you have until March 18 for you to apply. A total of 300 young persons and women who own startup companies will be recruited to the Incubator program. It's short-term management training courses being provided, again, by the South Lewis Community College. After completion, you will have your certificates, and also, while receiving the awarded Accelerated Growth Angel funding, you will continue to be mentored and to optimize your viable business model, as well as give you some help there in your product development. There's relief counseling for micro, small, and medium enterprises. That application period, again, February 28th, and you have up until March 30th, 2022 for you to apply. 90 MSMEs will be selected and granted a relief funding, as well as fully funded consultant service, again, to optimize your viable business model and new product prototype development if necessary. And if that isn't wonderful news, Omar, I don't know what is on this Monday.
Agreed, Lisa.
We want to once again thank you, Ambassador Jan, for being with us. Thank you, Ms. Sophia Jan, who is the project manager of what we've just discussed here. Thank you so much, Homer. You are off on vacation. Do I dare say so? Should I make that announcement?
Well, I mean, you can.
Okay, just did. So you're leaving me all by my lonesome. So Homer will be off for just pretty much all of March. Well, look at you.
Well, I'm returning towards the end of March. So I'll
right,
with
the
you.
end.
Yes.
Okay.
For 3 days until the end, yes.
And I don't understand, but Homer, we'll have to have a conversation because now that you're off on vacation, confinement hours have been lifted.
I did not know that would happen.
So Homer,
I did not know that was going to happen.
No, but you know, even Ambassador and Sophia, they
That's what you call a beautiful coincidence.
A beautiful coincidence, right, Homer? Well, we're looking, enjoy your vacation time. You've earned it.
Thank you.
We hope to see you back here towards the end. Now, for International Women's Day, coming Tuesday, March 8th, of course, all of the activities that Taiwan will be hosting. Don't forget to check out the Facebook page. But most importantly for St. Lucia, at the convening at Parliament, will convene tomorrow. House of Assembly, Minister Honorable Virginia Albert Poyet is scheduled to table the Domestic Violence Act, a bill rather, and to get it enacted. And certainly that's going to be a very historic moment for all of us here in St. Lucia. The National Television Network will be bringing you that coverage live from the Parliament of St. Lucia. On behalf of Homer DeBark, who's going on vacation, I am Lisa Joseph. See you next time. Well.